Hey, Orange One here. So I want to go over NPCs and how to recruit them. First of all, I want to go over what they are and why you would recruit them. That'll be pretty short, and then I'll show you where. So first of all, with most starts, you're gonna start by yourself. There's a couple where you've got a group of people, but you're going to want more because if you look under your skills, which you can get to by pressing C, there's a lot of different skills here, and you're going to want to have people specializing in different things. Like you can have people who are specifically farmers and like weaponsmiths and armorsmiths, which you're going to want as soon as possible, because those guys really help make your fighters a lot better with better armor. So yeah, you're going to want to get different people. To do that, you go to these bars, and to view a bar, you go into a city, which looks kind of like this. One of these, like one of the faction cities, like Shobutai, and you can hover over them and it tells you a little bit about them. Most of these cities will have one, maybe two bars. So you can see this bar here, and there's another bar down there, and there's these NPCs that come into the bars. There's a couple different ones that will do this depending on what faction you're in. Different factions will come into the bar. You can't recruit these guys. What you want to do is you want to look for drifters, which sometimes they're not on the first floor, sometimes they come up here onto the second floor. And these guys right here are looking more like what we'd be able to recruit. You can see their stats are pretty terrible. Bar recruits, their stats are bad. The only people who really have worse stats are slaves. But these are like the default people. Most will cost like 3,000 to 6,000 cats as well, which is like kind of absurdly expensive given how terrible their stats are. So you're gonna need a few cats before you recruit them. So you're gonna need to like collect copper or kill some animals or something. Then you should be able to get one of these guys to join you. I am gonna just show you this other bar real quick. Also, it's important to note that people will walk in and out of the bar. So you want to be keeping an eye on people as they come into the city, because they might have like some good recruits for you walking in, not right when you are in there, but like in a little bit. And I believe these recruits refresh every 24 hours. So they'll stick around in the bar for like 24 hours and then they'll come back. Then you'll get a different loadout. And most of these drifters are random. There are some preset ones. Also, mercenaries are pretty good for if you're just looking for protection for the next day or so. Like those drifters are like the people that you could maybe recruit. These guys, yes, you can talk to them, but they're not going to let you recruit them. They're, well, I think that guy's actually from a mod, but there's also like the guy who sells you food and whatnot in here. But you can see that there's a number of slots for people to kind of like sit at. You just need to check both floors and keep an eye out for some of the ones with special stats. I'll show you one person who has a special stat real quick, who's in Shobutai. I just gotta go there. Alright, I managed to find one of the drifters that's not completely random. Ridley here, I've had in a couple of my games. I think in my first Kenshi game, she's a random NPC that spawns in. Basically, a couple of them have actual adventures. So, like, this person will straight up join you, right? And there's a couple other people there kind of like that too. Like Els, he spawns in Shobutai, so he should be in this city, but I'm having a hard time finding him right now. I've found him before, like, in the outhouse. He's just kind of wandering around here somewhere. But he's like a pretty cheap recruit that's always in the city. Ridley, though, is one that just kind of spawns sometimes. But she's always going to spawn like in like UC territory. There's like some ones that are only going to spawn in some territories, you know? Like, I think Green, I think, is at the swamps. There's like a couple other people. Alright, I'll show you one other person who's like a constant spawn that every time you go there, they'll be there. Okay, how can we make a Kenshi video without the meme himself? We got Beep here. So if you want the best recruit, or the most famous one. Go to Mongrel and talk to him, and you just said beep. Yes, yes, I am. Yep, yep, yep. Just talk to him, and let's be nice. And he should join you for free. So you got a free recruit there. So yeah, he's one of the worst stats wise, but people just love him because he's hilarious. He's got some really good dialogue. There's some other really good unique NPCs that have good dialogue here in Mongrel. There's Crumble John, Infinite Wingman. They're both unique. They're most of the time here, not every single time. And there are other random spawns that spawn in the bar, you know. But these guys are very, very powerful. Oop. Alright, deal. So you can see these guys, they've got unique dialogue. They're pretty funny. Nice. So that's how you get a few of these guys. These guys actually have decent stats. You're going to need them to get out of here, though. This is a tough place to escape once you've gone into with the Fogmen. So I wouldn't go running here if you haven't got any recruits. These are not your first recruits, though they are pretty cool. I'm going to show you one other way to do this in-game, in the vanilla game, with slaves or like freeing people. Alright, so I'm going to show you how to get slaves so that you can free them. These guys are manhunters. They will be in the desert. If they see someone who's knocked out, so I just killed a couple of city heroes over here, and they're healing them up. When they heal them up, and this goes for you as well, they'll enslave you. And when someone's enslaved, they can be freed. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna let these guys enslave them, and then ideally you should be able to free them. Now these guys are kind of hurt. They're kind of banged up pretty bad themselves, so they're not going to be of much use to recruit, but this is a nice way of getting whoever you want to be a recruit. And then you can just attack the manhunters, and it should free these guys. They're on their back. Now the dudes here are kind of messed up, so we may not be able to free them just quite yet, but that's the idea, is that you find manhunters or people who are already slaves, because there's wandering groups of slaves, not to mention these camps of slaves. So I'll show you, we'll free some of the slaves that are in this camp. I'll show you what that looks like. It might take a minute though. But what was that? The dude that was carrying the one that was a slave. Yeah, this guy right here. Now if they get back up, they might be grateful to us and then join us. So yeah, also slave camps, pretty good source of slaves. These guys are more likely to actually join you than the ones that are wandering around, to be honest, I think most of the time. But you can see, like, right there is a slave. So if we go over and free them, they might become friends with us. So, or they might not like that we're freeing them. If it's like not an advantageous place for them right now, they're not gonna join you. But look at all these guys. There's so many of them. Let's just kill their guards. Yep. See, these guys, they're trying to escape. I'm free, right? And then a lot of them will just try and escape, but some of them will become friendly, which is pretty cool. A lot of these guys should try and join us, actually. Yeah, this is why you get crazy stats, by the way. So you can do this. I'm free. Yeah, there's a chance that some of them a lot of them will just run away, but a lot of them will try and become your friends. I don't know if the chances are greater or lower depending on if you try and actually unshackle them. But I'm pretty sure you got a better chance of them joining you if you do that. And you can also let them out of cages. Sometimes they don't want to join you though, because like these guys, they're still all happy to be working. And sometimes when you take their chains off, like it just doesn't work. Like they just don't respond. So you can kind of see the general process here. And then these guys, yes, a lot of them will run off. One of them should eventually want to follow us. We haven't gotten any of them yet, though. Oh yeah, this one's saying we're supposed to stay in the cages. Look at that. That's funny. So I just took off their chains, and now they're like, oh no, I'm in trouble. They're gonna stop my rations. Right? It's kind of funny. Yeah, look, these guys are green. They're friendly. They are escaped slaves. They want out. So if we try and break them out of here, I bet they try and join us. Hold on, Blake. Just wait a second. We gotta demo something. Oh no. This might take a while. That one's actually got an easier lock. That one's got an easier lock as well. Nope. Nope. Blake, hold order. Yeah, I just kind of wanted to show you guys that these dudes will say that they'll join you if you get them out. They appreciate you opening their cages, long story short. Hey, I'm still shackled. There we go. Let's unlock that then for you. I'm free. Stay if you want. I'm leaving. See, that one is not going to join us, but eventually one of them should. I did have it actually happen in one of my recorded episodes, so maybe I'll just show you what it looked like in that. Okay, so you can see that I'm freeing some slaves right here. They're talking to me. You can sometimes right away get them to join you, right when they've gotten their freedom. Though usually they'll need to follow you for a little bit. So you can see with these slaves that I unlock this guy's shackles. They're like, yay, we're free, but then they turn green and they're gonna follow you. So if you like hover over them, they look green like that. And you can talk to them. When you do talk to them, sometimes they'll be like, I'm out of here. But if you look in this dialogue here, you can see that Barth actually is interested in joining us. And because in this playthrough I was doing Shek only, I was like, okay, maybe I'll take him. Even though it's like a patron's. Everyone else is named after a patron for my channel. Okay, so we got some prisoners, and we're doing the mod called Recruit Prisoners. This is the Recruit Prisoners with dialogue version, so you can get on the Steam Workshop. I'd highly recommend it. I always play with it. It's how you get higher level recruits. This person right here has got nothing to say to us. Eventually, though, these people should be willing to talk to us. I think they have to be disarmed, though. I think they can't have weapons on them. The exact conditions for recruiting different people is slightly different, but if you get them in the cages here, and then you talk to them, you should be able to recruit them. I did that a ton in my Kenshi Hivers Only series. That's how I sustained my whole faction of Hivers, by going and capturing them from the hive and then putting them in cages and talking to them till they join me. So it's totally a viable method. I'd highly recommend it. It isn't super game breaking because it's kind of balanced based off the dialogue options and the fact that you have to capture them. So yeah, thank you for joining me. This has been Orange One.